Well, we are about to get new reaction to U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder's 9/11 trial decision. The self-confessed mastermind of those attacks and 4 co-conspirators now, we understand, will face a military tribunal at Gitmo. Those had been underway, the process for that, when it was stopped. Deborah Burlingame lost her brother on September 11th. Charles Burlingame was the hijacked pilot of American Airlines Flight 77, the jet that crashed into the Pentagon. She has now become, over the course of these years, the co-founder of 9/11 Families for a Safe and Strong America, also joined by New York Republican Congressman Pete King, the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Welcome to both of you. It's good to have you here. I know this is a big day for the things that you have been fighting for. Deborah, let me begin with you, if I may. What's your reaction?
Well, of course, I'm glad to see some movement in this case, and hopefully these men will be tried in military commissions. But I have to tell you, I believe that the Attorney General's performance yesterday was a disgrace. He went out and he trashed these commissions by implication, saying that he stands by his former decision. He's doing this reluctantly. Federal courts is a platinum form of due process that these men will not get. And now he I believe he's even inviting the human rights community, all of the interest groups that wanted to see military commissions go. I think his remarks have invited them to attack these commissions and undermine them. And for him to say that their number one consideration was the families and what we've been through, that is a crock. It is a disgrace for him to say it. That Justice Department and this Attorney General has ignored us, has tolerated us, has pushed us aside, has not kept us informed. And in fact, as early as a month ago, we were told by the White House that these cases were not going to go in military commissions, that they were going to continue seeking to repeal the ban by Congress on funding. So they've been incredibly dishonest with us, and I'm worried about the reputation of these commissions going forward. I think Eric Holder would like to see them fail.
Very obviously, you feel very strongly about this, and you've been such a staunch proponent on behalf of these families and on behalf of your brother, whose picture we're looking at right now. Have you ever had any satisfaction in terms of your group being able to discuss any of this with the Attorney General?
Well, in point of fact, in January, we came to Capitol Hill to try to get members of Congress to help us move this forward because we were at a stalemate. We ran into Eric Holder on the curb of the Rayburn building. He was leaving, and we caught him. And we engaged in literally a curbside debate with him. He was defending Article III courts. This was in January. He told us that commissions are a roll of the dice. He pointed to the Golani verdict, the Embassy case, as a major victory. And remember, Martha,
one count.
The Golani case was, yes, he was acquitted on 224 counts of murder. He was found guilty for conspiracy to destroy government property. That's deeply concerning that the number one law enforcement man in this country calls that a victory, and that is what he calls premium justice. He doesn't understand that you do not take war criminals into civilian trials and put them before ordinary citizens in our cities when we have 200,000 troops in the field fighting this enemy.
Understood. Deborah, thank you very much. Let's bring in Congressman Peter King, who has been side by side with you on this issue, not wanting to see these trials happen in his home state of New York. The first thing I want to do actually is play one piece of sound, Congressman King, from Eric Holder's discussion on all of this yesterday. He was also very worked up about this decision. Let's listen to what he said.
The reality is, though, I know this case in a way that members of Congress do not. I have looked at the files. I've spoken to the prosecutors. I know the tactical concerns that have to go into this decision. So do I know better than them? Yes. I respect their ability to disagree, but I think they should respect the fact that this is an executive branch function, a unique executive branch function.
All right. Well, he says it's a unique executive branch function. Apparently, though, he's willing to cede this because he says Congress gave him such a hard time on this. It made it virtually impossible for him to carry this out the way he wanted to.
Well, Martha, right there you saw the true arrogance of Eric Holder. Here's a man who made this decision in the first place without ever talking to the New York City Police Commissioner, the State Police, the Federal Court Protective Service, U.S. Marshals. He had no concept at all of the security and position he was putting on the city of New York, the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that would be spent. Secondly, under our Constitution, Congress does have a say. And maybe Eric Holder wants to live in a dictatorship. We don't live here. That's not the type of country we live in. Thirdly, if he feels this strongly about it, if this is such a great moral and issue of conscience for him, then Eric Holder should resign. If he feels this strongly, he should resign on principle. It would do him good. It would certainly do us good. It would do the country good.
All right, let me ask you this, Congressman. What did you think of the timing of this? You know, the president has just begun officially his re-election campaign. This was an issue on the table for them that they were going to have to deal with at some point. Any thoughts on the timing?
Yeah, listen, I don't want to be overly cynical, but listen, yesterday was the first day of the president's 2012 campaign. On the same day he announces his re-election, he changes his strategy or his decision on the 9/11 trials, which were one of the most controversial and unpopular decisions of his administration. And that's really disgraceful, too, because they made this decision in November of 2009. So we've had 16 months go by. During that time, they knew they would have to make this decision ultimately, and yet they kept putting it off and off and off, hoping something would happen. The reality is, on the day the president's running for office, that's a priority, and that's why the decision was made. This is the worst of all, the worst reason for a good decision to be made.
Congressman, thank you very much. Deborah Burlingame, thank you very much. It's an important decision. As you say, these families have been waiting a very long time, as has the rest of the country, for justice in these trials. We'll see where it goes from here. Congressman and Deborah, thank you very much. Good to have you.
Thank you, Martha.